When Diego came to Argentinos Juniors for trials, I was really struck by his talent and couldn't believe he was only 8 years old. In fact, we asked him for his ID card so we could check it, but he told us he didn't have it on him. We were sure he was having us on because, although he had the physique of a child, he played like an adult. When we discovered he'd been telling us the truth, we decided to devote ourselves purely to him. Francisco Cornejo, youth coach who discovered Maradona. Diego Armando Maradona, 30 October 1960 to the 25th of November 2020. He was an Argentine professional football player and manager. Widely regarded as one of the greatest players in the history of the sport, he was one of the 2 joint winners of the FIFA Player of the 20th Century award. Maradona's vision, passing, ball control, and dribbling skills were combined with his small stature, which gave him a low center of gravity, allowing him to maneuver better than most other players. His presence and leadership on the field had a great effect on his team's general performance, while he would often be singled out by the opposition. In addition to his creative abilities, he possessed an eye for goal and was known to be a free kick specialist. A precocious talent, Maradona was given the nickname El Pibe de Oro, the Golden Boy, a name that stuck with him throughout his career. He also had a troubled off-field life and was banned in both 1991 and 1994 for abusing drugs. An advanced playmaker who operated in the classic number 10 position, Maradona was the first player to set the world record transfer fee twice. In 1982 when he transferred to Barcelona for £5 million, and in 1984 when he moved to Napoli for a fee of £6.9 million. He played for Argentinos Juniors, Boca Juniors, Barcelona, Napoli, Sevilla, and Newell's Old Boys during his club career, and is most famous for his time at Napoli where he won numerous accolades. In his international career with Argentina, he earned 91 caps and scored 34 goals. Maradona played in 4 FIFA World Cups, including the 1986 World Cup in Mexico, where he captained Argentina and led them to victory over West Germany in the final, and won the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player. In the 1986 World Cup quarterfinal, he scored both goals in a 2-1 victory over England that entered football history for 2 different reasons. The first goal was an unpenalized handling foul known as the Hand of God, while the second goal followed a 60 meters, 66 yards, dribble past 5 England players, voted Goal of the Century by FIFA.com voters in 2002. Maradona became the coach of Argentina's national football team in November 2008. He was in charge of the team at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa before leaving at the end of the tournament. He then coached Dubai-based club Al Wasl in the UAE Pro League for the 2011-12 season. In 2017, Maradona became the coach of Fujairah before leaving at the end of the season. In May 2018, Maradona was announced as the new chairman of the Belarusian club Dynamo Brest. He arrived in Brest and was presented by the club to start his duties in July. From September 2018 to June 2019, Maradona was the coach of the Mexican club Dorados. He was the coach of Argentine Primera Division club Gimnasia de la Plata from September 2019 until his death in November 2020. I asked myself, who is this man? Who is this footballing magician? This sex pistol of international football? This cocaine victim who kicked the habit, looked like Falstaff, and was as weak as spaghetti? If Andy Warhol had still been alive, he would have definitely put Maradona alongside Marilyn Monroe and Mao Zedong. I'm convinced that if he hadn't been a footballer, he'd have become a revolutionary. Amir Kusturica, film director. Diego Armando Maradona born on the 30th of October 1960 at the Policlinico Evita Hospital in Lanús, Buenos Aires province to a poor family that had moved from Corrientes province. He was raised in Villa Fiorito, a shantytown in the southern outskirts of Buenos Aires, Argentina. He was the first son after 4 daughters. His father, Diego Maradona, Chitoro, 1927 to 2015, who worked at a chemicals factory, was of Guarani, indigenous, and Spanish, Basque, descent, and his mother, Dalma Salvadora Franco, Doña Tota, 1930 to 2011, was of South Italian descent from Calabria. Maradona received his first football as a gift at age 3 and quickly became devoted to the game. At age 8, he was spotted by a talent scout while he was playing in his local club Estrella Roja. In March 1969, he was recommended to Los Cebolitas, the Little Onions, the junior team of Buenos Aires' Argentinos Juniors, by his close friend and football rival Gregorio Carrizo, who had already been picked by coach Francis Gregorio Cornejo. Maradona became a star for the Cebolitas, and as a 12-year-old ball boy, he amused spectators by showing his ball skills during the half-time breaks of Argentinos Juniors' first division games. During 1973 and 1974, Maradona led Cebolitas to 2 Evita tournament wins and 141 undefeated games in a row, playing alongside players like Adrian Dominic and Claudio Rodriguez, in what is regarded as the best youth team in the history of Argentine football. 1986 World Cup. Maradona captained the Argentine national team to victory in the 1986 World Cup in Mexico, winning the final in Mexico City against West Germany. Throughout the tournament, Maradona asserted his dominance and was the most dynamic player in the competition. He played every minute of every Argentina game, scoring 5 goals and making 5 assists. 3 of the assists came in the opening match against South Korea at the Olímpico Universitario Stadium in Mexico City. His first goal of the tournament came against Italy in the second group game in Puebla. Argentina eliminated Uruguay in the first knockout round in Puebla, setting up a match against England at the Azteca Stadium, also in Mexico City. After scoring 2 contrasting goals in the 2-1 quarterfinal win against England, his legend was cemented. The majesty of his second goal and the notoriety of his first led to the French newspaper L'Équipe describing Maradona as half angel, half devil. This match was played with the background of the Falklands War between Argentina and the United Kingdom. Replays showed that the first goal was scored by striking the ball with his hand. Maradona was coyly evasive, describing it as a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God. It became known as the Hand of God. Maradona's second goal, just 4 minutes after the hotly disputed hand goal, was later voted by FIFA as the greatest goal in the history of the World Cup. He received the ball in his own half, swiveled around, and with 11 touches ran more than half the length of the field, dribbling past 5 English outfield players: Peter Beardsley, Steve Hodge, Peter Reid, Terry Butcher, and Terry Fenwick, before he left goalkeeper Peter Shilton on his backside with a feint and slotted the ball into the net. This goal was voted Goal of the Century in a 2002 online poll conducted by FIFA. In the final match, West Germany attempted to contain him by double marking, but he nevertheless found the space past the West German player Lothar Matthäus to give the final pass to Jorge Burruchaga for the winning goal. Argentina beat West Germany 3-2 in front of 115,000 fans at the Azteca, with Maradona lifting the World Cup as captain. Azteca Stadium authorities built a statue of him scoring the Goal of the Century and placed it at the entrance of the stadium. Barcelona. On the 26th of June 1983, Barcelona won away to Real Madrid in one of the world's biggest club games, El Clásico, a match where Maradona scored and became the first Barcelona player to be applauded by arch-rival Real Madrid fans. Napoli. Maradona arrived in Naples and was presented to the world media as a Napoli player on the 5th of July 1984, where he was welcomed by 75,000 fans at his presentation at the Stadio San Paolo. Sports writer David Goldblatt commented, The fans, were convinced that the savior had arrived. A local newspaper stated that despite the lack of a mayor, houses, schools, buses, employment, and sanitation, none of this matters because we have Maradona. At Napoli, Maradona reached the peak of his professional career. He soon inherited the captain's armband from Napoli veteran defender Giuseppe Bruscolotti and quickly became an adored star among the club's fans. In his time there, he elevated the team to the most successful era in its history. Style of play. He had a compact physique, and with his strong legs, low center of gravity, and resulting balance, he could withstand physical pressure well while running with the ball. Despite his small stature, while his acceleration, quick feet, and agility, Michel Platini stated, Diego was capable of things no one else could match. The things I could do with a football, he could do with an orange. A controversial figure in the sport, while he earned critical acclaim from players, pundits, and managers over his playing style, he also drew criticism in the media for his temper and confrontational behavior, both on and off the pitch. However, in 2005, Paolo Maldini described Maradona both as the greatest player he ever faced, and also as the most honest, stating, he was a model of good behavior on the pitch. He was respectful of everyone, from the great players down to the ordinary team member. In 1999, Maradona was placed second behind Pelé by World Soccer in the magazine's list of the 100 greatest players of the 20th century. Along with Pelé, Maradona was one of the two joint winners of the FIFA Player of the Century award in 2000, and also placed fifth in IFFHS Century elections. In a 2014 FIFA poll, Maradona was voted the second greatest number 10 of all time, behind only Pelé, and later that year was ranked second in The Guardian's list of the 100 greatest World Cup players of all time. In 2017, 442 ranked him in first place in their list of 100 greatest players, while in 2018, he was ranked in the first place by the same magazine in their list of the greatest football players in World Cup history. In March 2020, he was also ranked first by Jack Gallagher of 90 Minutes.com in their list of top 50 greatest players of all time. In May 2020, Sky Sports ranked Maradona as the best player to win the UEFA Champions League European Cup. In 1990, the Konex Foundation from Argentina granted him the Diamond Konex Award, one of Argentina's most prestigious cultural awards, as the most crucial personality in sports in the last decade in his country. Family. Maradona married longtime fiancée Claudia Villafañe on the 7th of November 1989 in Buenos Aires, and they had two daughters, Dalma Nuria and Janina Denora. Drug abuse and health problems. From the mid-1980s until 2004, Maradona was addicted to cocaine. He allegedly began using the drug in Barcelona in 1983. By the time he was playing for Napoli, he had a full-blown addiction, which interfered with his ability to play football. Maradona was banned from football in both 1991 and 1994 for abusing drugs. Political views. Maradona showed sympathy for left-wing ideologies. He supported the establishment of an independent Palestinian state. He condemned Israel's military strikes in the Gaza Strip during the 2014 Israel-Gaza conflict, saying, "What Israel is doing to the Palestinians is shameful." He became friends with Cuban leader Fidel Castro while receiving treatment on the island, with Castro stating, "Diego is a great friend and very noble. He's an outstanding athlete and has maintained a friendship with Cuba for no material gain." Maradona voiced support for Bolivia's President Evo Morales and was also a supporter of former Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. He also stated, "I believe in Chavez, I am a Chavista. Everything Fidel does, everything Chavez does, for me is the best." In 2004, Maradona participated in a protest against the US-led war in Iraq. By December 2008, however, Maradona had adopted a more pro-US attitude and expressed admiration for Bush's successor, then President-elect Barack Obama, for whom he had great expectations. Death on the 2nd of November 2020. Maradona was admitted to a hospital in La Plata, supposedly for psychological reasons. A day later, he underwent emergency brain surgery to treat a subdural hematoma. He was released on the 12th of November after successful surgery and was supervised by doctors as an outpatient. On the 25th of November, at the age of 60, Maradona suffered cardiac arrest and died in his sleep at his home in DK Luján, Buenos Aires province, Argentina. On the 26th of November, Maradona's wake, which was attended by tens of thousands of people, was cut short by his family as his coffin was relocated from the rotunda of the presidential palace after fans took over an inner courtyard and also clashed with police. The same day, a private funeral service was held and Maradona was buried next to his parents at the Jardín de Bella Vista Cemetery in Bella Vista, Buenos Aires. Maradona's death. Napoli's home stadium was renamed Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. I have lost a great friend and the world has lost a legend. There's still so much to be said. But for now, may God give strength to his relatives. One day I hope we can play football together in heaven. Pelé paying tribute following Maradona's death. Thanks for watching. See you in the next biography. Please subscribe my YouTube channel.